Today, Baba gives us the song, "Having found you, I have found the earth, the sky, and everything else." And this is a song of the world. So, in Hindi, the song is "Tumhe paake humne jahan paa liya, zami to zami asma paa liya." So Baba says that this is a song that is sung in the world. This is a film song. But Baba says this may have been sung or written in any context, but whenever it was written so that it can be useful for you, and I can come and explain the meaning of this song to you. And so there is a history about songs also. So Baba used to play records. So the song that you read in the beginning of the Murli, so after the question answer, there is a song many a times. And that is the song Baba, Brahma Baba, when he was in his corporeal form, he would play that song, and then the Murli was spoken as an explanation of that song. So just like Baba explains the essence of scriptures and sayings and proverbs and many things, so Baba says that I explain the essence of songs also to you. And there was one particular incident where a song that Baba played in the Murli, the writer of that song had come to Madhuban. And he was an old person, and then he was asked by Brahma Baba, "So who made you write that song? Who wrote that song?" So when Brahma Baba asked that question to that lyricist, who wrote that song? So that lyricist, he said, it's very interesting that all the other songs I wrote, but this particular song that you're talking about, this song I had an inspiration to write. And it was early in the morning, 3 o'clock, that I just woke up from my sleep, and it was as if somebody was just dictating this song to me, and I wrote it. So Baba says, although these songs are created in the world, but these songs are created for you, so that Baba can come and explain Gyan through these songs. And Baba says, this particular song that I have attained the whole world, I have attained the earth, the sky by belonging to you. This is a very interesting song because Baba says that this is the song of intoxication that we children should sing. We should be in this in the spiritual intoxication, that because I have found my Baba, now I should have the intoxication that I am the master of the world. And you see, Baba today says that everybody has to learn to go to school, to educate themselves so that they know the facts about things. If you don't go to school, then you may have an idea about something which is totally false. And Only the teacher, the one who knows, can tell you the truth about that thing. And you see, sometimes you talk to somebody in the world and that person is a layman, but no layman keeps quiet, do they? They speak their own mind. And whatever comes from into their mind, they would speak it. So let's say there's a technical problem in some machine, then an expert would tell you that what is the real problem. But somebody who doesn't have any knowledge of the machine will also give his opinion. And they sometimes, they give their opinion with such confidence that you don't listen to the expert, you start listening to them. But the interesting thing is, only the one who knows, and then if you learn from them, then you know. So when it comes to the knowledge of science, or the knowledge of the human body, or the knowledge of this material world, then definitely people have done a lot of research into it, and there are some people who have figured out some things about how this world of five elements of matter, it operates. And when we study that in the school or college, then we can understand what is what. Now, about spiritual knowledge, about our history, unlimited history, about the number of births the soul had, or about the design of the universe, or about the essence of the soul, or the relationship between the soul and supreme soul. Who is going to tell us about all of this? Not any human. So no human being is qualified to tell us about spiritual matters. And that is why God is called the supreme teacher. And it is God who comes and teaches us about the truth of spiritual matters. And just like you go and study history and geography in school, Baba comes and tells us our spiritual history, our spiritual geography. So the three worlds, the knowledge of the three worlds is the knowledge of spiritual geography. And then the knowledge of spiritual history is our journey of 84 births, and then how we come from the soul world, what parts do we play, how do we, what is our quality in the beginning, middle, and end. All of these are spiritual matters. And no human being is qualified enough to educate us about spiritual matters, because every human being is body conscious. So Baba tells us that I come and teach you about really the world drama, the truth of the world drama. And you see, human beings, so just like, I gave you the example of a lay person, even if they don't know anything, they don't refrain from giving their opinion. Similarly, you see, human beings, they have devised their own theories about what we were in different ages, and that we were monkeys and this and that, and then our basic instinct is ego and lust. So all of these theories are designed by humans. But then you see, so when we say that we were monkeys and then we carry our monkey instinct with us, then let us ask one question: how do we carry that? So science will not tell you that you are a soul. Science doesn't tell you that you are a soul. And then science will tell you that because your forefathers were monkeys, then you are carrying the monkey instinct. But how do I carry that which was, even if I believe that my forefathers were monkeys, how do I carry that instinct with me? So, science will tell you that you are just a body. And then, when I am a body, then how do I carry that whole stuff within myself? So, how do I carry the essence of what my forefathers were, and do they believe in rebirth or what? So, all of these things are very questionable. But Baba tells us that you are a soul, and you change bodies, you take new bodies, but you are the one who carries the sanskar that you created in old bodies with you. And then Baba says, whatever journey you have had, wherever you began, whatever you have done until today, whatever history you have had, you are carrying the essence of all of that in you in the form of sanskars. And Baba says that this is why it is very important when you know you are a soul, then you know that all of your eternity, so your eternal journey, whatever journey you have had, you are carrying the essence of that whole journey within yourself. And this is why Baba tells us the unlimited history, the spiritual history that we must know. And Baba says that when I come from the soul world, so Baba says that the soul resides in the soul world. I lived in the soul world, and about the soul world also, Baba gives a very accurate description that in the soul world, so have you seen the picture of the soul world, that there is Shiv Baba, then there is Brahma Baba, Mama, and then there is, every soul has a number wise position in that soul world. So we are not sitting bundled up together or very haphazardly, but very schematically, in a very organized manner, we are sitting in the soul world. And every position, the position of every soul in the soul world is very significant, because where you sit in your home, whether you sit close to Baba or far away from Baba, or you are in the beginning, or you are after the prophet souls, all of that decides how you will come down and play your part. So the ones who are close to Baba, sitting very close in the first, the first circles, they are the deity souls. And we are the ones who are assumed to sit in the, in that very close to Baba place. And then from there we come to this stage. And Baba has explained all of these things to us because Baba comes from the soul world. And Baba is the ocean of knowledge. No human being is the ocean of knowledge. No human being is called the truth. No human being is called Trikal Darshi, the seer of the three aspects of time. Only Baba is called these titles. And so Baba makes us see our beginning, middle, and end with the eye of the intellect. And Baba says, you come from that soul world. And then when you come to that new world, when you come in the beginning, when you come and play your role, you come in your deity kingdom. And in that deity kingdom, you are the master. And this body made of 5 elements, you are the master of this body and master of the world. And there is nothing unattained in that world. So there is peace, purity, happiness, prosperity, everything in that world. And nobody can snatch it away from you. So there is no place for fear and insecurity and you are not concerned about safety, you're not prone to attack. So nobody comes and attacks you in that world. You live like a king, and there is no fear in that world. And then Baba tells us that in that world there is no duality. There is one religion, one language, there is one kingdom. And when there is only one, there is no fighting. There is no internal fighting, there is no external conquest. It is a world of order, peace, purity, prosperity. And you live in that world, you rule in that world for 2,500 years. And Baba gives us this knowledge of who we really were. And Baba says, you lived in that intoxication that you are the master, not in the ego. So you know you are the master. And when you are the master, there's no scope for fear, insecurity. There is no need to hoard or hold, to hold tightly or get attached. So you live in that intoxication of being the master, where the earth, the sky, the elements of nature, they are at your service. And then, that intoxication is lost when we become vicious. So, do you understand what Baba means by intoxication in this context? So, the intoxication of being the master of the world is, is that feeling where there is no possibility of any negative thought or emotion in you. So you know for a fact, there is a deep knowing that there is no scope for fear, there is no scope for attachment, there is no scope for anything to go wrong. And you see, thoughts become things. So when that intoxication is lost, and then you create feelings and thoughts of fear and insecurity, then all the insecurity and fear starts creeping in. Then all the events arising from your insecurity and fear also happen. So let me tell you one thing. So suppose you are sitting at home watching a crime series, okay? So you're watching a crime drama. And then when you're watching the crime drama, you have this thought that, maybe somebody can break into my house, because in the drama, somebody is breaking into somebody's house. And then, there is a burglar going down your street. And then that burglar has this thought, let me break into this house. Because you are attracting that burglar through your own thought. So do you understand how this mechanism works? So when you think it's possible, then you start attracting it. And then when you attract it and it becomes a reality, then again you think about the same thing repeatedly, because now it's your experience. Now when there is a burglary, now next time, I don't even have to sit and think or watch something to think. I will sit and just, create this thought that I'm very vulnerable. And then you become vulnerable, because you are attracting all the vulnerabilities because of who you are. And just think about, this fact that in a male body and in a female body, it is a soul. And then there is no 100%, established fact that a male body is always stronger than a female body. You have, very physically fit, sports persons and everything who are females these days. But still, when you think, when you are in a female body, you are conditioned to believe that you're vulnerable. And that's why you're vulnerable. A man, a soul in a male body, that soul is not conditioned to think they are vulnerable. These days, they are also conditioned to think they are vulnerable because times have changed. But then earlier, they were conditioned to think that I'm not vulnerable, so they were not vulnerable. And when you are, so when Baba says the intoxication of being the master, the intoxication that nobody can harm me, the intoxication that all the elements of nature and every soul around me is cooperating with me, the intoxication that I am the one who is the master of everything in this world. That intoxication was there in Satyug, and that's why you didn't need any. You don't need an army. You don't need a defense system. You don't need boundary walls for your country. You don't need anything, because there is that intoxication that I am the master. And it's not ego. You are the master. Ego is having the intoxication of something you're not. So if I'm body conscious and I think that I will never die, then that's ego. But if I'm soul conscious and then I think I will never die, it's intoxication. Because the soul will never die, but the body will leave, you will leave the body. So you cannot be body conscious and say, I will never die. That's ego. But when you're soul conscious and you say, I'll never die, that's intoxication. So Baba says that spiritual intoxication was there, and the soul knew its powers, the soul knew its abilities, the soul knew that the soul is the master of the body, the soul is the master of the five elements. And then when the soul becomes, body conscious, when the vices creep in, then the soul loses all this intoxication. And then when you are in low consciousness, then you start attracting everything that's, even when that which is around you is less powerful than you, but still it has the capacity to harm you, because you are less powerful than, what is going to harm you now. So you are in low consciousness. So Baba says that now I am again. So Baba says you have all these sanskars. So you are a soul. You have been in that world where you had complete intoxication of being a master, of being a self-sovereign, of being a world sovereign. And then Baba says, I remind you that you are the master. So Baba says, you are Balak so Malik, which means you are the child and the master. You are my child. I am the ocean of knowledge. I am the ocean of virtues and powers. And as you go back to being knowledgeful and virtuous and powerful, you again invoke that intoxication. And when you invoke that intoxication, then that becomes a reality. So this is what Baba is saying today, that, we were the masters, and then when we became low in consciousness, we started worshipping ourselves. We started creating our own pictures and then worshipping ourselves. And now Baba reminds us who we really were, and then the more I churn over what Baba is trying to tell me, I go back to that intoxication of being a master. And when I go back to that, I become a master again. Yes, so this is what Baba is saying today. And then Baba says that there are many children who submit their chart to Baba, but who don't have an understanding of whether they are submitting their chart right or not. And Baba gives the example that sometimes a child would say that I remembered Baba for 5 or 6 hours a day, but then Baba says, I will not believe it. Why Baba won't believe it? Because Baba says, I'm not saying that the child is lying, but maybe the child has no understanding of how to calculate how much remembrance they have. Because sometimes you think you are remembering Baba. For example, now you are in class or you are listening to the Murli, and at that time you think that at least for this length of time I'm in complete remembrance of Baba. But the sign of complete remembrance is you would remember the whole Murli. But do you remember that? So you see, when you sit for the Murli for 45 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever, then how many points do you actually remember? So what happened what happened for most of the time? Your mind was wandering, your intellect was wandering. And then how can you say I was in remembrance when your intellect was wandering? So can any of you tell me the song I played before the class started today? Yes, only one. Who else? Two. Yes. So just think about, many of you don't even remember the song that was played in the beginning of the class. Why? Because that song we can only remember when I was in attention at that time. But our mind and intellect wanders so much that we are not even aware of it. And I will tell you one incident. So there was this one class fellow I had in graduation, and he got a 0 in the class. So it was a subject paper and he got a 0. And he had 100% attendance in the class. So he came for every single class and then he got a 0. And then the teacher that we had, he was very interesting. So that teacher, he called him and he said, let's clap for him, because it's not easy to sit every day and not listen to one single thing. Because even by mistake you would sometime listen to something. But then this boy, he made so much effort that he sat through every class in every single day of the year, and he listened to nothing, and he was so resolute that he wouldn't listen to anything. And you see, this is so interesting that somebody can sit for a class all year and not listen to one single thing. So Baba says that remembrance, is something that you have to check. Even if you woke up at Amrit Vela, how much time did you actually sit in Baba's remembrance? And how much time was your, intellect wandering? Or you are reading something, the Murli, or you're reading some book that has Baba's knowledge, or you're listening to the class, but you have to actually check how much your mind and intellect is wandering. And you need a very sharp, intellect to discern that. Because somebody who can discern that his intellect was wandering can also pull that intellect back. Because check and change go together. If you can check it, it means you have the capacity to change it also. And most people, even Brahmins, they don't have the capacity to check. So that's why Baba says you have to check how much you remember Baba with a lot of attention, because sometimes you think you are remembering Baba a lot, but you're not. And what is the sign that you are actually remembering Baba? So Baba says, first thing is, when you're actually remembering Baba, then you would slowly, feel that you're living in this world, but you're always in Satyugi intoxication. You are like pulled, your intellect is pulled by the thoughts and, by the scenes of the coming new world. You're sitting and some, secret of the new world will reveal itself to you. You will start having insight into the new world if you're really remembering Baba very well. And then your words will have so much power that, because the power of remembrance is accumulated inside you. So when you share knowledge with somebody, you tell them that, we are going to this new world in which Sri Krishna will come as the Lord, and then he will change into the king of Satyug, Sri Narayan. Then they will exactly take it as you say it, because your words will have that power. And Baba says, if you really remember me very well, and if you really maintain your chart every day of how much you remember me, and then you keep checking and changing and improving your chart, then these signs will show up. If you're sharing knowledge with somebody, it will strike the heart of that soul. Or, you will sit and feel you will have insight into Satyug while you're sitting here. And then third thing is, you will have super sensuous happiness, infinite happiness inside you. You will not need to hanker after sensual pleasures for limited happiness. So, your heart will be full of infinite happiness. And what is the sign of somebody whose heart is full of infinite happiness? So the sign of that person is, they will try to give happiness. They will not want happiness. So whenever you are doing something, you are doing it with happiness. You are not concerned about what it will give you. When you're meeting somebody, you are interested to make them happy. Not make them happy to feed your ego, but really give them the essence of Baba's knowledge so that they can also be happy. So people use this expression, happy to share. So when you're happy, you share. So, you share with your open heart. And Baba says these are the signs of somebody who really has a good chart of remembrance. And if not that, then we are only telling ourselves that, yes, I have a very good chart of remembrance, but Baba doesn't believe that, because Baba sees our actions and Baba knows whether there is remembrance or not. I remember there was this one Mata, and she always used to tell me that I remember Baba for 5, 6, 8, 10 hours every day. And then she would not do any seva. And then I said, you know what? If really you remembered Baba so much, then through you, Baba would do a lot of seva. Because remembrance would make you a very pure instrument. And it's not just about doing seva. Baba will do seva through you. You will not even have to plan, you know. Every karma that you do will only become fruitful. It will never go to waste. You know, Baba will use your mind, your words, your body, your wealth, your resources, your relationships. Baba will use everything you have for seva. And if that's not happening, then how is it that you're remembering Baba for 8-10 hours every day for the last 6 years? I don't understand. So Baba says these are the signs of, you know, children who really remember me. And so then Baba doesn't blame children. Baba is not saying that children are lying, but Baba says that maybe children have no understanding of how to check the chart really. Maybe they think that they are remembering, but they are not. So Baba is giving these guidelines today. Okay, Om Shanti.